Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Girlfriends and Football, post Thanksgiving, post week 12, lots of craziness. We're here with the gals, Beth, Sherry, and of course, your host, Desi. What's going on, everybody?
Hi.
Hello.
Happy after Thanksgiving.
Happy
Sounds like we all survived.
We're all still here.
Okay, we survived, but do we have our sanity?
Yeah,
Ish.
I mean, I don't know that it's any different than any other week, right? Like, I don't know. Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I had 4 people living at my house in addition to our family. So yes, it was different than any other week. But it was good.
I have to give it to you, gals. Those listening, first of all, hit like and follow and all the things. We love having you join us every week. And these two ladies were totally ready to go full on live the day before Thanksgiving. And I thought for sure, like, they're going to cancel. They're like, I'm good if you're good. So I'm the one who was like, you know what? We need a break. I need a break. So we just took off last Wednesday. Beth, I mean, just you heard her. She had additional people in her house hosting. She's the hostess with the mostest. And you guys did like a 5K next morning. Like, what? The barnacles? For real?
Thanksgiving 5K, absolutely.
You're a turkey trotter.
I mean, it's the first time I've run in quite some time, so I wouldn't say that it was anything impressive, but we had a good time and we all got it done.
Pause. You got up on a holiday morning before you had to, so you could attempt to run. That already.
So no. You misunderstood. I got up on a holiday morning to go for a run so that I could start drinking while I was cooking at noon.
Yeah, but still, still.
I mean, I did the same, but I didn't get up and run.
I was going to say, I'm like, you could do all of the above without. But congratulations. The pictures
Thank
look super
you.
cute. I love to see you guys out there. Zevins did a turkey trot one year, and apparently we're all way too competitive to ever do that again. So
it's because you're all too athletic. Yeah, if you were less athletic, it wouldn't be so much of an issue.
I don't think so. The year we did it, Sherry, you know, there's it's done over at Wiregrass.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, cool. Wiregrass, it's like a outdoor shopping center.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Totally on board. Did not look at the race course. You run in the garage. Like you're running up the ramp to this. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't do
That's
race.
Stupid.
Oh, no.
That's stupid.
No.
No.
I've reached an age where I don't do elevations. I live in Florida for a reason. This is not Colorado. We don't have to pretend to be Colorado. We are Florida. So.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
So after all of that, now that we've caught up, there is so much that we have missed out on between weeks 12 and even 11, because we didn't review 11, but we won't even go back that far because there's so much juiciness. I don't know about you guys. I know we've had a great pre-Thanksgiving, now that we've chatted about it. Did you watch the games on Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah. So you know who I watched? Cowboys, Redskins. Cowboys and Commanders. Dolly Parton.
Yes, Dolly did halftime show.
Yes.
Dolly is my idol, up there with Cher. I think Dolly is amazing. And funny enough, like right before we went on, there's apparently been so much criticism over her outfit.
Listen,
Why?
Dolly, do your damn thing. Do your damn thing, Dolly.
If she can if I could pull off that, I would too. Why not?
So, like, her sister came out. Like, apparently there's been so much hate on her. Her sister came out and literally is like, I personally thought my big sister Dolly was cute as hell in her Dallas Cowboys cheerleading costume at the halftime show on Thanksgiving. To those of you being so critical of a 77-year-old kicking up her heels, I say fuck yourselves. Shame on you, not her.
And you know, when I read that, I was literally like, did Sherry write that or did Dolly's sister write that?
Dolly's sister, that's what I would say. That's what I would say.
I'm like,
That's
I could see
awesome.
Sherry totally posting that.
Absolutely. I mean, And Dolly to me is like one of the untouchables.
Yeah.
You know, Dolly's legend.
No,
Dolly is
no.
goodness.
Dolly is the untouchable.
Yes, yes. Like never hurt a person in her life, right? Like she is the best. And so
She's an amazing human.
amazing.
Yeah.
And people criticizing her outfit, I was like, God, I wish I didn't see that, you know?
Yeah.
I
The only thing I'll say is I saw the memes after, and I like power to Dolly. I'm all about her. Like, do her thing.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, I wear red and gold, and you know, I have an aversion to the Cowboys. So the funniest things that I saw were like pictures of her where it was like live coverage of the, you know, the cheerleaders that were alive when Dallas was last attended the Super Bowl. Like,
I love it. I mean, that's hysterical, right? Dolly would laugh at that. Again, she has an amazing sense of humor.
yeah,
She's an amazing person. Like, that's funny. But people like criticizing her, that just, I know it's like, as with everything, right? Sometimes the minority is the loudest. Like,
yeah,
the minority of opinions can sometimes be the loudest, but you still hear them and you're like, wait, why is there any even one like that? Like what? You know?
yeah.
So anyway, I had to mention that. I'm 100% behind Dolly. Yay, Dolly.
Yes, I'm with you, 100%. Alrighty, next up, let's chat. Beth sent this out. Breaking news.
Dun,
AA
dun,
Ron
dun.
is coming back to the practice field. So Aaron Rodgers is now entering practice field territory.
Look at us all eating our words.
You know what? You guys are, I shouldn't even say, I'm going to say this. So I asked my husband, Brian, if he wanted to come on because I said, I know we're going to be talking about this. And he was like, I'm starting to think his injury is not as bad as he said it was. And I was like, oh my God, now you're doing the conspiracy theory thing that like I can't stand Aaron Rodgers for doing. But I mean, come on, it's kind of a valid point. Like he's very known for keeping things close to the vest and his own world of health and injuries. Is this a medical marvel or is there something we don't know? I'm going to ask the doctors.
Yeah, no, as we've said before, the iteration of surgery that he had, utilizing new technology, has allowed athletes, not just Aaron Rodgers, people like Brock Purdy, to come back from injury at a much quicker rate than before. So there has been advancement. It is from medicine, and that has allowed him to get to this point. Now, the caveat is he is returning to practice. That doesn't mean he's off IR. It doesn't mean that he's returned to sport fully. It means that he has been allowed to start to participate in activities. I'm going to guess this is still non-contact. This is just getting out there, running through some drills, doing some things like that. But I will defer all of that to our in-house doctor of physical therapy, Dr. Beth. What are your thoughts?
I agree. I think what you said is absolutely right. I would assume that he's running drills and starting all that plyometric training that they do and would need to be done. I would not feel comfortable throwing a tackle at him right now. Truthfully, I don't know after 21 days if I would feel comfortable throwing a tackle at him. But again, new surgery, new technology, all of those things, who knows? Maybe it will be okay. I would have a hard time feeling comfortable putting my big money player out there with a still healing, because we know that it is still, the ligament is still actually healing.
Yeah.
Just the bridge is there to prevent it from tearing again. But when you're still dealing with healing, there's still going to be some inflammation. There's still going to be some extra work going on in there. And I would hate to put my player that we spent all this money on in the line of fire.
Just to prove his point. I mean,
just to stroke his ego. Yeah. I think that would be hard.
Here's where my problem is. is like, I cannot figure this guy out. I mean, he comes out so anti-science and now he's like, he wants to be a science medical marvel. Like, which one are you? I don't know who he is. You know what I mean? Like, is it just when it's convenient for you what your position
He
is, or
wants to
like,
be a storyline. It
so
has nothing
any
to do about
storyline?
science. It doesn't have anything to do with medicine. It doesn't have anything. He wants to be a storyline.
Yeah.
And I think he wants to just be
Relevant.
the exception to the rule. I think he just wants to defy the odds.
Across the board.
Yeah. So this is the
Or
actual
relevant.
right.
All of the things.
All of it. Well, here's the actual report. So this is what Beth sent over right before we got on. This is an article from ESPN staff writer Rich Cremini. New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers moved one step closer to an improbable return as he was cleared Wednesday to return to practice, exactly 11 weeks after surgery to repair a torn Achilles. By rule, the Jets have 21 days. So that's what Beth was talking to before, about 21 days to decide whether to activate Rodgers from injured reserve. The period expires December 20th, 4 days before they face the Washington Commanders, the game he's targeting for a return. Now, I have seen elsewhere where he has said that this is all contingent upon where the Jets are in the playoff race at that point. So they are willing to maybe gamble if it looks even somewhat possible.
Like a remote chance.
Yeah, if there's a remote chance for him to be available. Now,
Okay,
if we look at the standings, oops, I was just going to say, if we look at the standings, they are now third in the AFC East behind the Bills. So they are 4-7.
Shocking that we're still in second, to be honest with you. But
said the Bucks are still in the hunt, and I was like, what?
Well, that's the Bucks are in. I'm so sorry, girlfriend. I don't mean this in any discontent, but they're in the suckiest damn division.
I know.
The Falcons
I
are first.
said that all along. That's the only reason we have a chance. But I still thought, we would be done. And I see this flash on Sunday, like in the hunt, Buccaneers. I'm like, what?
They are. So your division, NFC South, is Atlanta Falcons in first with 5-6, tied with the Saints at 5-6, and then the Bucks are right behind them at 4-7.
I know.
I appreciate that the losing record is in first place.
Yeah, exactly.
You can have a losing record and be in first place.
Why can't the Bills be in that division, right? Like,
golly,
right?
Man.
There
are so many things that I want to say. Why can't the Bills? But we're not there yet. So,
well, you can slide right on over because that was the exciting game. I think of last week was that Eagles game. I was definitely cheering for the Bills. I mean, for more reasons than one. One, they're my favorite AFC team, but two, diehard 49er fan, definitely needed the Eagles to take an L so that we could look at maybe scooting into that number one in the NFC, getting that bye into the playoffs. Didn't get done. Came down to the last minute. Beth, share your thoughts because you and I were texting a little bit throughout that game. Walk me through how you watched that game and your emotions going through it.
Oh, it was so painful. It was so painful. I mean, even so, the first half of the game was good. Like the Bills looked like they were playing. They kind of had a game plan despite all the penalties called. They were still like hanging in there, looking like a team. Second half came around. Our defense forgot how to play. Our offense wasn't finishing, even though they were still playing well. But mind you, they had over 300 yards. Like I don't remember the stats. There were crazy stats that nobody should ever lose a football game with.
Over 500 total yards of offense.
Yeah. Thank you.
The conversion rate for third down conversion rate was almost 40% or something. Just the numbers that they had, no team had ever lost with that kind of generating.
In the NFL ever.
NFL ever. Yeah.
That's right. Buffalo picking up those records where we can. Might not be a Super Bowl, but pick up all the other records. I'm going to be honest. I don't know why we took a knee with 20 seconds left in the game. That's where I'm going to stand. We weren't stopping them on offense at that point. That wasn't where we were going to win the game.
Yeah.
We have been beaten in under 20 seconds before. Why we couldn't do the same thing, I don't know. My assumption, I would have thought that we would have gone to try and at least go for a field goal with those 20 seconds left, but
Yeah.
not my team.
Yeah. The other problem was that throw.
Oh, you mean the fact that we don't know how to
Yeah.
run routes at the end of the game either?
It was an option. Apparently, story is you can option out, you can option in. And I guess Josh thought he was going to option, the receiver was going to option in, and he optioned out. And apparently, it's kind of a 50-50. And it just, yeah.
Well, they should talk about that. And maybe run the same play would be awesome next time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's an unfun fact. Unfun if you're a Buffalo Bills fan.
I feel like there's lots of those facts. Please do share.
So this is another one. The other unfun fact, and I live with a Ravens fan, so this is kind of interesting to me. We all know that Justin Tucker is the number one kicker in all of football, right? Like he hit a historic field goal last year, over 60. I think it was like 67 yards is the record. He did that last season, I believe. So Justin Tucker's coach is the Philadelphia Eagles kicker's son, who kicked that 59-yard field goal to win the game. So the Eagles, so let me reconnect this because I know Sherry's looking around like I'm
like, yeah, I'm going.
I need a Venn diagram.
I know,
exactly.
A family tree.
Where do they intersect?
The kicker for the Eagles,
yeah,
his dad is Justin Tucker's coach. So essentially his dad coached both of them. So, I mean, he's going to also be an unbelievable kicker to kick that 59-yard in the rain field goal game winner after Jason Kelce false started twice, set the line back 10 more yards. I mean, this was just incredible game. I'm not a diehard Bills fan, but I felt exhausted after watching that game. It was
oh yeah. I went to bed after the game. Desi was like, "Are you going to watch the night game?" I was like, "Absolutely not. I'm going straight to bed."
There was no judgment. It was me kind of just checking in on her to make sure. Because, and the cool thing is, I mean, Josh Allen was incredible. Like, I literally called him Superman like 3 times in that game. Drives that I thought were going to be dead in the water, he brought back to life. I mean, he was just phenomenal. And the best thing I can ever say is, sometimes on Monday mornings, I'll watch Get Up, and it's kind of like, I may feel some kind of way about what they say about something, but I was really excited to hear the commentators really give Josh Allen his flowers, really kind of say that the Bills did not lose the game because of what he did. I mean, it's really kind of unfortunate. You guys have just been a really good team with unfortunate events this year. And it's just
kind of like last year and the year before.
Yeah, I know.
The year before.
You know what, though?
And I actually saw a post in my Facebook feed about a really bad loss that we had 10 years ago. Like, we were a bad team then, and it was still a really poor, like, last-minute loss. And I was like, oh, well, this is how we know this is not new to be a Bills fan.
Well, the new stadium's going to bring new energy, new life,
new mojo. All right,
it's going to come together. All the things. Things could be worse. You could be a Panthers fan,
or you could be the Panthers coach.
Or who actually the coach is actually sitting pretty because homeboy lasted a year. I forget where he was last year. Collected money on what was left of that contract, got hired by Carolina, and now has been fired not even a year into it. And now he collects the money. I think it's like $40 million or something.
This is the most insane thing to me in sports that
you lose your job and still make money off of it.
Oh my God, that you're terrible at your job, you get fired. But it's like CEOs with a golden parachute, right? But in this case, you're like actually really fired and still get paid out your contract. One of the things I won't get, I can't get, I don't get.
I guess it's kind of like a severance.
But your severance is higher than any work you ever. That's why I said golden parachute for CEOs to get out of, big companies that you get millions of dollars for failing. When the company comes under, they escape in a golden parachute and have millions of dollars. Coaches, what other profession can you get literally paid millions and millions of dollars that none of us could even imagine, to get fired for being terrible at it and just sit on your ass and eat bonbons and watch TV and get $40 million?
Yeah.
What other profession?
I don't know, because I'm not even in a profession where I make $1 million. So
right? Like even just one.
So what do we do to get there?
How do we get there? We're doing all the wrong things.
Exactly.
I say that all the time.
Gosh. Okay, so another team that's not doing so hot but has a lot of excitement behind it is the Giants, man. They love this kid, Tommy DeVito. Like, he is just, I feel like it's almost the WWE with him. Like, okay, we're not having a great season, but our quarterback is awesome. Homeboy came out to the song of The Sopranos, or the music of The Sopranos. Like, I don't think I've ever heard anything like that happen in the NFL. Have you guys? Like, he came out.
It's fabulous. But you got to do something. So, right? So you're like, what? We're now on like our 6th quarterback of the season. He lives at home with his mom. You know, they're doing, they probably are the Sopranos. Like, so they're just playing with his, like the whole thing. Like, it's just.
Oh my gosh.
But doesn't it sound like something our like mutual favorite Beth Fitzmagic would do? Like,
yes,
it's
absolutely
amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
And I mean, so let them have their moment in the spotlight. Absolutely. That's what they got right now.
And his parents are gaining some fame. They're like getting, like, the fans are like, oh my gosh, the DeVito family. It was interesting. I was listening to New Heights, the podcast that Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce have together. And they were like, I think they're becoming more famous than our family. Like, and I was like, yeah, it kind of is heading that direction. So the other thing we're going to catch up on, Tom Brady coming out and basically blasting the fact that he thinks the NFL is kind of soft these days. In that,
which is funny coming from him.
Thank you. So do elaborate. For those who don't know, basically Tom Brady has come out and said that it's, the NFL is not what it used to be. You used to be coached and taught how to protect yourself as an offensive player from a defender tackling you. And that's no longer. So now it's, so many penalties on the defense. And so he kind of just went on record with that. The counter was my boy, Alex Smith. Hey, old school 49er and Chief. He came out and basically was like, what? Like, you literally played in the softest division in all of NFL history, 1. And 2, you just retired a year ago. So literally you played in the era that you're blasting. So, like, what gives?
And 3, any rules protecting the quarterback saved your 40-year-old brain.
And 4, he called for every single one of those penalties and pouted if he didn't get it.
Exactly. That is rich.
I love you guys. Like, love you guys. Sherry, I was really curious to hear your insights being a Bucks fan. And I know he was only a Bucks for a very short period of time, like a flash in the bucket compared to his rest of his career. But I was curious to hear what you were going to say on this.
Well, listen, I like the Tampa version of Tom Brady. He was looser. Remember, like, the Super Bowl trophy and tossing it to
Gronk
when he was drunk on the boat. That's my kind of Tom Brady. That's the Tom Brady I like.
That's what happens when you become a pirate.
Yeah.
That's basically what he was. He was a pirate living out on the ocean.
Yeah. I like that version of Tom Brady. I like that it drew so much attention to our team. I like what he did for the team. I like a lot of things around him, but like, I'm not and will never be a giant Tom Brady fan. I respect what he has accomplished in the game, the age at which he was able to accomplish it. I like what he brought to Tampa, and I like the Tampa version of Tom Brady. Does that take away anything from like that kind of comment? Is just how oblivious. You know what I mean? Like, how oblivious do you have to be to like make that? Like, did you not know that you were constantly doing this? Did you not know? Did you think everybody got this treatment, Tom? Like, what do you think?
And ladies and gentlemen, that's why these are my girlfriends. So exactly my thoughts as well. Sorry to any former, any Patriot fans out there who, all hail Tom Brady, but I mean, I couldn't have said it any better. One other thing I want to chat about before we get into my 49ers, CJ Stroud.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Balling as a rookie.
Lighten it up.
Better and better every week.
And I need to find the clip because I don't know if you guys remember, I said that I was going to be interested in watching the Houston team because of DeMeco Ryans, and I thought that he was building quite a little squad. So I'm just going to toot my beep more in there. I'm excited to see it. I love DeMeco Ryans. I think he's an incredible coach. He's got a great way of just getting the best out of his players. I think CJ Stroud is just doing amazing. And I'm excited because Dell is on my fantasy team. I picked him up right before all this popped off. And he's basically been a starter on my team since. And that helped me win a lot of games.
So my daughter beat me this week. So my daughter is now in first place. And Nikki crushed it, been crushing it. And at the moment, it's the two of them and me and you, Des, in the playoff bracket because 4 teams go to the playoffs. That's going to be interesting. But this week, I play Miss Beth Lowe.
Which means I need to go in and make sure that I take all of my Buffalo players out because they're on a bye week.
Oh, girl,
my whole team is Buffalo, so I need to make sure.
Man, I'm going against my daughter. You're 0%. You're out of the playoffs. I'm going against my daughter to get this spot. No, it's okay.
Am I still in?
I mean, if you'd like, I can just
you're in, girl.
All of Buffalo in.
Because I thought Beth knocked me out last week. I was like, damn.
You are in the playoffs right now, but
Josh Allen.
Because Buffalo had a great game. They just can't win.
Yeah. They did have a great game. And my
gonna keep reiterating.
I know. I tank at the end of the season. That's what I do every year. Thank goodness I started off undefeated. I always it seems to be my habit. I tank. But can I please do a college football interjection this week?
Yes.
Is now good.
Except for real quick.
Okay.
What was I going to say? It was about fantasy.
49ers.
It was hysterical that you were texting me, tell your mom to set her lineup. And I'm like, she left her phone at home because it was like Thanksgiving. I'm like,
the only week Desi's mom has set her lineup is because she was with Desi and playing as me and she happened to win. She has not set her lineup all year. And I'm like, girl, tell Miss Pam to set her lineup. She's playing against my competition.
And I don't know.
She did not.
Yeah, bless her. No, because it was at her house. And she's like, I don't want to drive home. I'm like, Sherry just texted me again. She needs you to set your lineup.
It didn't happen.
If I'm going to the playoffs, I need a quarterback, y'all. I need a freaking quarterback.
You just got Jordan Love and Sammy dropped him. Poor Burrow.
I don't feel like she should schedule quarterbers. I feel like they get injured.
Listen,
we got to keep quarterbacks out of your lineup.
Jared Goff, he's the new Burrow for me. And then I picked up Kyler Murray, and then I did just pick up Jordan Love. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm just happy to have made it to the playoffs if that's truly what happened. But let's get to college.
Well, it's not yet. We still have, what week are we in the NFL? We're in week
13. We're going
13.
into 13.
So we have
14,
we're going into week 14, right?
We're going into 13. So 14 is next week.
Okay, so we have 2 weeks until the playoffs.
Okay.
So everybody's technically, except Beth, I don't think you are technically still in it.
No, I'm sure I'm not. I'm actually just checking my lineup now and realizing that I need to find players because that's.
Oh, we can work out a trade, Beth.
You keep going. You keep going.
Hey, I'm willing to trade too. I got you're playing me. That's right. I can't do that.
I'll take Josh Allen. I need at least a quarterback that can do something. So he doesn't have to win.
I can't give him up because he's the only one who makes me any points. And Cook and I had Cook and Davis and Josh Allen. Of course, I won last week.
I know.
The three of them just rocked it.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And Kittle and Ayuk didn't get a lot of action, but we'll talk about that later. Sherry, go to college. What do you want to
Y'all? Oh, college. Oh my goodness.
The Michigan-Ohio game. I did watch that.
Wow. Oh, wow. There was so much college excitement. It's been insane in college football. So college football is very different from the NFL in the playoff system. It's been before the bowl championship series, and it was almost arbitrary before that, who picked the national champion, right? So now we're in a playoff where the top 4 teams go to 2 championships.
And who are those top 4 teams, girlfriend?
That'd be a Florida State, baby.
Yeah.
But this is right now, right? So the top 4, Georgia 1, Michigan, Washington, Florida State. Everyone had some crazy killer games, including my Florida State game this weekend. I did not think we were going to pull it off. Or wait, was that this? We didn't catch up last week. Was it last weekend or this? Anyway. Oh, we lost our quarterback.
It wasn't last weekend. It was the weekend before. Yeah.
We lost our quarterback. So we played at Florida this weekend. The big rivalry, Florida State, Florida. We won. We started off looking terrible. We came out and won with our backup quarterback. We head to the ACC championship, and everything goes into a swing, right, with the conference championships games, because it's right now the top 4 are undefeated. But if there's one right below them that ends up beating one of the top 4 in their conference championship, then what? So there is a board of 13 people that decide the playoffs and the national championship for college football. And it is a Mr. Toad's wild ride right now of college football teams, that deserve to get in. So my personal opinion, a lot of reform still to do in this playoff system with college football, but I am very thankful to be in the number 4 spot with Florida State. Very sad we lost our Heisman candidate quarterback in the game before last, and he is definitely out, and that was his last game at Florida State. But anyway, so my whole point is go Noles.
Check.
Done. All right. Well, I'm going to brag on my 49ers. We had a killer game. We've had the last 2 weeks were killer games. And Thanksgiving Day, watching my 49ers be able to eat turducken in Seattle at their house. And Mooney Ward just shut down DK Metcalf, and our defense was just suffocating. And Brock Purdy did his thing. Christian McCaffrey is back on his,
needed that, dude.
Oh, yes,
needed
it was phenomenal. So we're on a bit of a streak, and this week, y'all, the reason why I'm all red, this is going to be me all week. Every day all I think about is this Eagles 49ers game. It is I wake up and I think about it.
hungry. It's gonna be good.
Girls
I
getting
cannot wait.
ready.
Yes.
Mm.
I was gonna go out in public to this 49er, like this 49er group has taken over this bar down in South Tampa. I was gonna go, but I was like, I need to not be arrested, so I'm gonna stay home because who knows, like I can get a little cray cray. So we're gonna stay home. My husband is gonna be a 49er fan for the day, so he's bringing sexy back. That's what I put out there.
What time is that, Jess?
Nice.
It's a 4:30 game.
Right.
Feel free to swing on through.
I'm probably going to.
Yeah. So he's like, screw. He can't stand Philly, so he's like, screw Philly. Go 49.
I
I'm like,
can't either. Can any
like,
of us?
You've
Yeah.
never said anything sexier, honey. What was that?
I'm like, I got my red on, Des.
Oh, there you go.
Wear the red. Wear the red. So that is what's on deck. It should be a fantastic game. I mean, it really should be a fantastic game. I'm praying it doesn't rain. I want kind of a clean game. I don't think Brock Purdy does his best in rain situations. Like the game with Buffalo, that's what made it so much more amazing, is that the rain was just pouring and it just didn't seem to matter. It was like just incredible.
It was a good game.
Yeah. And I love just incredible football games. And so I'm hoping this is fantastic. I think this is going to come down to defense. Our offenses are kind of similar. The numbers are there, kind of equating each other. But defensively, the 49ers should have the upper hand. We are ranked higher, much higher than the Eagles defense. However, when it comes to rush defense, the 49ers are second and the Eagles are third. So the difference is our pass rush, and the Eagles kind of have they can't really compete with us in the pass rush game. So it'll be all on, I think it's going to come down to defense and weather. So weather permitting, should be an incredible game. I cannot wait till every day. I'm like, is it Sunday? Is it Sunday? Is it Sunday? I'm ready for Sunday. I went to the gym this morning and they had the nerve to have Rocky on. I'm like, who the hell is up in here as a Philly fan? Because I went with my 49er sweatshirt on. I'm going to gym. Went in there to get my warm-up on. And I'm like, Rocky Balboa. Like, let's go. I'm ready for this game. I'm so hyped. So
Desi's not going to sleep for the next few days.
Right. I'm all like just shaking. If you see me,
it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I know. It's going to be insane. So, and if the worst should happen, there's a couple days before we do the pod, so I'll be able to
recover. And we'll go to lunch.
Yes, we'll need to.
There you go.
All right, what are we looking at? Since we just talked about the big, what I think is going to be the game of the week, the 49ers Philly game, which is being held at the Link in Philly. It's always a tough place to play games. That I think is
this time of year.
But you know what else is interesting? So we have Indianapolis, Tennessee at Tennessee. Meh. We've got Chargers at New England. Meh. We got the Lions in New Orleans. Meh. Oh gosh, this game. Atlanta, New York, Jets. Meh. Arizona, Pittsburgh. How does Pittsburgh keep winning? Not quite sure, but they do. They fired their offensive coordinator.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. I don't know. Yeah, I have a Pittsburgh wide receiver that I keep not playing. I don't know.
Yeah. And you know what? I really didn't see much of a difference last game, but I'll give them a little beat to see what happens. Dolphins played the Commanders in DC. This is going to be interesting because y'all, our dude, Russell Wilson, has resurrected. He is kicking butt out there. I think they're on a 5-game win streak. It's Denver playing Houston in Houston. So it'll be Russell Wilson against the CJ Stroud. This game could be very, very interesting. It's the 1:00 game, likely the game that I'll be watching prior to my 49er game. Thoughts on Denver, Houston?
Well, I have Russell Wilson on my bench all year. From a fantasy perspective, not spectacular. He's just the kind of guy you throw in when you need him because there was nobody else available. But end of the year, end of the season, I feel like things kind of go a lot of unaccording to plan, right? Like there's a lot of toss up as we start getting into the playoffs. I think there's going to be upsets. We're getting into winter weather in a lot of places. Buffalo, hello, Beth, like up there in the Northeast. I mean, there's chances for a whole lot of crazy things to go on until we get to the playoffs.
Well, interestingly, they're both in the hunt for the playoffs. Speaking of which, both are 6-5. Texans coming off a loss, Broncos coming off a win. So that's, there's a lot at stake in this game for both teams. So this will be a good one to watch for sure.
Where's the game this week?
In Houston.
In Houston?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So no snow there. Well, I mean, probably not. I don't know, but probably
crazier things have happened.
Crazier things have happened.
For those not watching the pod and just listening, Sherry does have wine in her hand. So, there's that. Carolina is playing.
Does Beth.
It's true. It's true. But I know where it snows.
No, but I didn't know it was in Houston.
That's why I said it, because I was like, I said it was in Houston, but
I didn't catch that. I didn't know it was in Houston.
I'm trying to help you out there, sis. You guys, the Bucks are playing home against Carolina. Are you going to that game, Sherry?
No, actually, when I was just talking about going over to your house for the 49ers game, I realized we have a comedy show on Sunday. It got rescheduled from Thursday night to Sunday at 5:00. So I am going to miss. It's Josh Blue. If you guys watched America's Got Talent or follow comedy, I'm a big comedy follower. So our tickets got rescheduled to Sunday at 5:00. So,
girl.
Yeah. But it's like I'm so meh on the Bucks right now. Like, I'm so tired of the emotional up and down that they're taking me on. That yeah, I know you do, Beth. I know you do. It's just like I'm just meh. I'm like, man, I sure would love for us to win, but I'm not gonna cry anymore if we lose, and like I don't want to get ahead of myself, like, look who's gonna have a great game. And then, I don't even know what happened to us last week against the Colts. It was raining there, not snowing, but anyway, so I'll be happy with a win. I'm gonna sum that up right there.
Well, the good news is this is against Carolina.
I know, but Hubbard all of a sudden, right? Carolina's running back. I mean, Carolina has not lost by their record is horrible, but they're not as horrible
as bad as their record shows.
Yeah.
Well, all I'm saying is if you beat the Panthers, you're now in contention depending on what happens with the Falcons and the Saints do this weekend.
I can't get my hopes up, Des. I don't know how much more clearly to say this. I cannot get my hopes up.
What I'm saying, right. So Desi, I think you need to understand that the world that we live in, like it's a very different world. Like you can't say anything until a game is over.
Yeah.
Until it's like really, really over. Mm-hmm. Like they have to have like shook hands and gone off the field.
And you definitely can't have any hope. You can't have any hope.
Listen, I've been there.
The whole game. Like there are times like Buffalo is blowing a team out and Dana's like, you should go to bed, you're good, don't worry about it. It's like, no, I cannot leave because it is not a sure thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't live in 49ers world.
There's no such thing as a sure thing win.
There is a long time where I was in that. Like, remember the mass exodus after Harbaugh left. Like, we've been through some shit now, so I totally get it. Which is why I'm gonna toot my little horn now and wear my
ride this while you can, man.
That's what I'm saying. Riding it out.
And we still love our teams. We just know that no matter how good we're doing, there's always the possibility.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You ride with hope, Des.
I'm taking it all the way, baby. Taking it all the way. Okay, so we also have Cleveland at LA Rams. Then of course San Fran at Philly, and then we have Kansas City at Green Bay. That's the evening game. That's I don't know. How about tomorrow night? We've got Seattle at Dallas. Now I'm about over all these people given all this praise to the Cowboys. Again, if you're a
Same.
Cowboy fan, sis, rock with your team. Just disregard what we're saying. You rock with your team. But I'm fitting to tell you, y'all really haven't played anybody. I mean, I checked it. Everybody has a losing record that you guys have played, that you've beat. Let me put it that way, because you guys did.
Unless we're talking about Dolly, I don't want to talk about Dallas anymore.
So that's all we're going to say about that. I probably won't even watch that game. Monday night game, Cincinnati at Jacksonville. Again, without Joe Burrow, I'm not sure that I care about that too much. So, yeah. All right. So that's our games of the week, guys. I hope that you will join me in cheering for my team on Sunday. I don't wear any colors of the opposite team the week that we play them. So you will not see me wearing green at all.
All right. Go Niners.
Yep. So
go Niners. We're there.
Woohoo. All right. So again, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. Be sure to like, follow, hit subscribe, all the things. Join us again next Wednesday as we recap week 13. So goodbye and happy football.
Bye.